Welcome back, all you ghosts and ghouls, to the Halloween Horror Pod. Before we continue our exploration of the VHS anthology series, we have a special bonus for you in the form of another edition of VHS history brought to you by Halloween himself. And speaking of bonuses, feel free to join us over at Patreon. We'd love to have you, where you can get exclusive episodes, exclusive merch, and a whole lot more that we haven't even announced yet. So keep it locked in here with the Halloween Horror Pod and enjoy the show.
VHS was widely used for more than 20 years from its introduction in the late 70s. The home television recording market, also known as the VHS market, or as we just said, tapes, as well as the camcorder market, has since transitioned to digital recording on solid-state memory cards. The introduction of the DVD format to American consumers in March of '97 triggered a market share decline of VHS. DVD rentals surpassed those of VHS format in the United States for the first time in June of 2003. David Cronenberg's movie A History of Violence, sold on VHS in 2006, is widely believed to be the last instance of a major motion picture being released on that format. By December 2008, the Los Angeles Times had reported that the final truckload of VHS tapes being shipped from a warehouse in Palm Harbor, Florida, as the last major supply. Though 94.5 million Americans still owned VCRs in 2005, market share continued to drop. In the mid-2000s, several rental chains in the United States and Europe announced that they would stop selling VHS equipment. In the US, no major brick-and-mortar retailers stock VHS home video releases, focusing on DVD and Blu-ray media. Sony, along with other companies, ceased production of VHS in late 2010. The last known company in the world to manufacture VHS equipment was Hunai of Japan, which produced videocassette recorders under the Sanyo brand in North America. Hunai ceased production of VHS equipment in July of 2016. However, there have been a few exceptions. For example, The House of the Devil, Ty West's best movie in my opinion, was released on VHS in 2010 as an Amazon exclusive deal, in keeping with the film's intent to mimic 1980s horror. The first Paranormal Activity film, produced in 2007, had a VHS release in the Netherlands in 2010. The horror film VHS 2, the anthology series we are here speaking about, was released as a combo in North America that included a VHS tape in addition to Blu-ray and a DVD, and that was in 2013. In 2019, Paramount Pictures produced limited quantities of the 2018 film Bumblebee. The VHS medium has a cult following. In February of 2021, it was reported that VHS once again doing well in the underground market. In 2023, it was reported that VHS tapes were once again becoming valuable collector's items, especially horror and movies like Buck, where the licensing rights have kept them from being printed. In 2024, Alien Romulus had a limited release on VHS, marking the first major Hollywood film to receive an official VHS release since 2007. In 2025, Lionsgate reissued VHS releases of Leprechaun, American Psycho, Cabin Fever, Scream 4, and in June of 2026, Kill Bill Volume 1 was released on VHS. This is How the World Ends, also going straight to VHS. There's also just a collector's market for these. You can get Frankie Frico The Void, this great Astron Films videos, and if you go over to our friends at lunchmeatvhs.com, you can buy all sorts of different VHS tapes in limited runs, which are great, so go check out Lunchmeat VHS. And now, we return to our regular programming. Oh my gosh, George, we made it through the worst of the worst last week. And we're joined again by a panel of people that have helped rank all of these. But what are we doing? We're ranking all of the VHS segments. That's right. We started it last week. If you're listening to this out of order, go back and listen to last week, where we covered 45 through 34 in the VHS segments and our complete ranking. So how we did this is we had about 10 people rank each individual segment in the VHS anthology series. We averaged out all of those votes. I did a whole bunch of math, and we came up with the definitive ranking list for every VHS segment. Right, George? That's how we got here?
We absolutely did.
Okay. And today we are going to go through 33, or going to start out at 33 and work our way through 24. And we are joined by, first, actually, I'm seeing someone in New York who's new to the chat. How's it going, Chris? And introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Lavinia. I'm the writer-director of the short horror film Dead Air, which was featured on the Halloween Horror Hour not too many years ago, and I'm very proud of that. And I'm also a writer, got a lot of short stories that I've got in various anthologies out there. So on top of all that is I am a VHS enthusiast. I've been a huge fan of this franchise since number one back in 2012, which is insane to think this is a 14-year-old series now.
Yes, and if we go about as far as we can across the continental United States, we will end up in Northern California with Kelly. How are you, and what's your plug?
I am great, and I'm excited to be back to talk about some segments that are marginally better than the segments last time. And yeah, I'm from the Final Girls podcast, so you can hear us at final-girls.com, and we just talk about badass women. And I don't know if I'll get that chance today, but we'll have lots of other things to talk about. So,
going all the way up the Pacific coast into the wilderness of Alaska, how are you, George?
Well, I'm doing fantastic, Ian. I'm so excited to be talking about VHS, especially as we move into some of these. And again, I think, like I said last time, I liked a few of these more than you guys did, but I'm excited to get into it, so I'm excited to hear what people have to say.
Yeah, your least favorite of the series is also in this category, so that's going to be a fun conversation. And joining us again, it's McPatches 3D. How are you, Tony?
I'm doing pretty great.
Excellent.
I'm excited to talk more. I just want to talk about all of the segments. We still haven't talked about my favorite.
We are working our way down that list, but without further... Well, I do have to plug our TV show since its new season starts October 3rd, Halloween Horror Hour. Watch on YouTube, watch on Channel 28 if you're in the Seattle area. Keep your eyes peeled for Tubi. We do have 8 episodes up there. More eventually will get there, I'm sure. But we're really excited about this upcoming season. We've pitched the last few seasons as kind of Elvira meets the Muppets. This year, I'm saying it's more like Johnny Carson, The Tonight Show, meets Return of the Living Dead Part 2. So if that sounds like your vibe, you're definitely going to have a good time with Season 4 of the Halloween Horror Hour. Also, head on over to our Patreon, where you can get bonus content like Sam and I reviewing every single Treehouse of Horror episode one at a time. We're watching all the source material that they're parroting and diving deep into the social commentary and context of when each of those episodes come out. So head on over to patreon.com/Halloween Horror Hour to get fun stuff like that. Also, we will be doing our live show October 3rd at the Grand Cinema in Tacoma, Washington. Tickets are on sale now over at Film Freeway or on our Patreon. Make sure you get your tickets soon. We have a smaller theater this year. Just due to some capacity reasons, we are only going to have about 70 seats. So those are going to sell out, so make sure you get them soon. All right. We're ready. We've completed 45 through 34. We've gotten rid of most of the wraparounds. There's still a few that are going to come up, but this is going to be a pretty segment-heavy episode. Coming in at number 33 is Second Honeymoon.
That's the Ty West one from from the first one, correct?
It is, yes.
Yes.
So this is
I really like this one, personally.
Yeah. Do we want to give a brief... synopsis of what it is? It's a family or a couple going on their second honeymoon, and then we find out that she is in another relationship. We get this kind of like POV kind of killer who does some stuff with a toothbrush and steals some money, and then we find out that the POV killer is actually having a relationship with the woman that is on her second honeymoon.
And if I'm not mistaken, it is the second video in the first VHS. If I'm wrong about that, my mistake, but I believe that's true.
Yeah, I think you're correct on that. And I remember that this was one that even when I first saw it, did test my patience a little bit. But I also had seen enough of Ty West at the time to know that slow burn was his thing. And I remember thinking the payoff was good. Was it my favorite of that first film? Probably not, but it was still solid. Like, I still like how it represented like where West was as a filmmaker at that time. And I think it's exemplary of how that first anthology kind of was like a warning shot almost, where it's like, hey, everybody in this is going to end up being like the next big horror filmmaker for the following decade. So be prepared.
Yeah, the way that I was ranking things last time, like I mentioned in the last episode, is that I gave everything on a scale of 1 to 5 stars because I misunderstood the assignment a little bit. And so this one for me was like firmly a 3 out of 5. Like, it was good. I enjoyed it. I don't think the payoff was that satisfying, only because it's really, really kind of quick, and just it's like there's the slow burn, there's a lot of lead up, and then you get the payoff, and then boom, it's done. And then you're kind of like, you have to switch mental modes to like the next thing. And so it doesn't really feel like once you learn the payoff that it gets to breathe at all. But I also am a sucker for these types of like Wild West, old like historical junction like features. I live in like a pretty rural historic area, and so I kind of just love that vibe. So I was on board with it for the most part, just kind of enjoying watching them go around and explore.
Yeah, what's kind of interesting to me is because I kind of felt the opposite about it, is that I felt like it breathed enough that I was completely invested by the time that the twist came around. So I think that's an interesting take on it. That's just how I took it.
That's interesting, George, because you have this ranked at number 30 and Kelly has it ranked at number 19.
I actually might have, I said in the first episode, I'm going to walk back some of these. I actually might have rated this one higher had I not been scrambling to assemble my ratings. But I still understand why it's in the back third compared to some of the other ones we got coming up. So I'm okay with it.
I don't know. I think partially because it was a rewatch for me. Like I watched it when it came out, then I rewatched it for the first time since then over the last couple months. And I'm like, I don't know. I think it was just like coming back. I'm like, oh yeah, this is all just a trap. I forgot. On his rewatch, I didn't really strike my fancy very much. I was like, this is okay.
Fine.
And I accept that.
All right, moving on to number 32, Parallel Monsters. This is from VHS Viral. This is guy kind of finds a parallel door, goes into a parallel dimension, swaps with this guy, and then finds out that there is monstrous genitalia in this parallel universe.
I love this one.
Yeah, me too. I think I had this one rated pretty highly. I won't lie.
I think that
you and I, Kelly, rated this one.
Yeah, Kelly.
We have it at what?
Kelly and George both have this rated at 7.
Oh, wow.
Hey. Top 10. Yeah, it's really fun. This one I gave a 4 out of 5 on my scale, and I don't know. I was hooked. I like stuff that kind of bends the rules of reality. And
Same.
I was really locked in terms of where is this going to go? What the hell is happening? Like, what is this stuff? I like the little kind of touches that they add in that make you start to go like, something's wrong. Like, this is off. This isn't right. And then it just goes in such a bonkers direction that, again, I just enjoyed it a lot from start to finish.
I do want to say first, Ian, can you give the audience a breakdown of what the plot of this one is, and then I'll say why I agree with Kelly on why I liked it so much.
It's got this parallel universe. The guy goes in there. He trades places with his like parallel person.
Yeah, he meets his parallel person. That's the important part there, and then they form like a trusting relationship.
Yes, kind of, except for one is lying to the other.
Well, of course. What I mean is that the one that we are meant to care for trusts the parallel guy.
Yeah.
And they get to meet each other's like parallel partners.
Yeah.
I mean, you would trust yourself, right?
Exactly. And so they switch places, and then he realizes that the guy he switched places with wanted to get out of there because he pretty much lives in hell. And I should say that a big reason, the ones that I listed the highest on this are essentially the ones that trap people in eternal suffering, because I've always found that fascinating.
I like that too.
Like, I'm terrified of hell, even though I'm not a religious person. But like hell media.
Same, bro.
And yeah, and things like that are great for my attention. And just the concept of being trapped in a mirror universe where everything's wrong and scary and weird, and you went in with good intention. It's the same reason I have another one on our list rated so highly. I think I can say it now. To Hell and Back is very high on my list, but we won't get into that now.
We'll get there.
For the same reason.
When we get to that one, I'm gonna have a lot to say. I love that one
do
so
too.
much.
Excellent.
That will be on a future episode because that one is rated way higher by
because it's excellent
across the board. So that'll be on a future episode.
Yeah, let me say one last thing about this one, which is that I think that this parallel one also gets ranked higher, maybe just by way of it being couched in VHS Viral, which is terrible. And so it's like, okay, this was one of the only good segments to come out of that one.
I think
I forgot this was from Viral, I won't lie.
It being in Viral is probably why it's rated so low by other people. A couple of voters had this at 42. I had this at 39. I was hard pressed to rank anything lower than anything in Viral, and really only Tape 56 was able to do that for me to be below the entirety of Viral. So.
Oh, I had also noted that I felt like the director of this one was maybe a fan of Fringe. And I was like, when did Fringe air in comparison to this? And it had ended just the year before. So
I never saw Fringe.
It's like this. If you like this, you probably like Fringe. Parallel stuff.
Oh, excellent.
Speaking of parallel monsters, coming in at number 31 is Fur Babies, which is Justin Long's attempt to remake Tusk, but inflicted on somebody else.
Yep. I didn't realize that Justin Long was involved with this. I didn't research who made these in pretty much all of them, so this is great news.
Yeah, Justin Long directed this one, His brother wrote it and he directed it, right? That's,
Nice.
I think I co-wrote it. I think it was a co-write because I just rewatched pretty much all the Shudder ones I rewatched this week, and this is one of my favorites from Beyond. So like I'll go to bat for this one.
I really feel like I liked Beyond a lot more than everyone else. I thought that movie
I like
was
it too.
Great.
I like it too.
Okay, excellent.
I like Beyond quite a bit, but I did not like Fur Babies because it's not aliens. It doesn't belong on the Beyond table.
I hate Fur Babies.
It didn't stand out a lot.
All right.
I liked it. I don't know. I don't have much to say. That's why it's in the middle, but
I thought Fur Babies kind of dragged on too long. Like, it was kind of fun, but I don't know. Like, by the end, I was like, okay, I see what's going on. And then it's just like, oh, it's not stopping. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's over.
I appreciate like the Annie Wilkes style like antagonist. I really, really like her. That's a great aspect to it. I gave this one a 1 out of 5 though. I can't. Because it reminds me so much of Tusk, which I hate. I can't tolerate it.
I never saw Tusk, actually. I really need to.
Tusk is so hard.
I saw it in the theater, and I was like one of those people who it was literally just me. It was literally no one else. I remember literally calling a friend at one point, like 2/3 of the way through, being like, yeah, no, I'm seeing, like, nobody else is here. It's wild.
That was me when I
saw Furiosa, and I was like, why is no one else here?
Nice.
Whatever. Another movie I love that no one else seemed to, but whatever.
I thought Furiosa was great.
Thank you.
That's a side note.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it more than I did. And I will just say one real quick thing about my only defense is that I really did, and you Kelly, you just mentioned it a second, like, I'm forgetting the name of the actress, but her performance of this, like, the Annie Wilkes type character, for whatever reason, that's what really sells it for me. Like the whole twist of her turning them into, the dog people, that's kind of whatever. But me and like my wife and I like have, we watched this one together. She was with me when I was rewatching it. And like, we both just love the moment where she's looking in the dog's neck and then she just looks up, makes eye contact with the secret camera and just goes dead faced. Like, for the listeners at home, I'm sure that was great radio. But anyway, but there's just something about that, and then the way she plays, like, I'm captivated by her. And you comparing her to Annie Wilkes just dropped a piece of the puzzle for that for me, because I'm like, well, Misery's also one of my favorite King things, so it makes sense it makes sense that her performance alone is what makes me love that one so much. But every criticism I've heard is valid, so I'm not gonna
So this isn't
the point.
Libby Letlow, is the actress.
This isn't related to the point, but I do have to throw Ian here under the bus because he was not a fan of the Misery book, and he made that very clear on one of our explorations a couple months back, so I just have to throw him under the bus for that.
Ian, how dare you?
I don't like the Misery novel because every other chapter is having to read the actual Misery stories.
It's like 3 chapters.
I love Misery. I may have taken a bolder stance on this in the past, but Misery is an excellent book. If you skip all of the alternating chapters, I could just take those pages out because they have nothing. I know that they set up allusions to what is happening between Annie. Anyway,
this is why we're talking about this, because Fur Babies was so impactful that we had to talk about a different story.
Yeah, so
Yes,
I'm just gonna jump right over that, and we're gonna live and let die as we go into number 30, which is live and let dive. Some friends they're gonna go jump out of an airplane because they're crazy. I would never do this. I'm terrified of heights, but they're all gonna go.
This one.
They're all gonna go parachuting. A fighter plane passes them. Something lands on their plane. They all jump out of the plane, and an alien invasion has happened, and it's pretty good. The reason for the verisimilitude, which is very important for found footage, as we learned last week.
Our band name. Yeah, absolutely.
Is really good on this one. The reason it's being filmed, you would be filming this experience the entire time your GoPro is on. So capturing everything is really good. The aliens look cool. The setting of being in the airplane and then in the orange grove is all very interesting. Kelly, you do have this rank the highest out of all of us at number 3. So tell us what you love about Live and Let Dive.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite segments. It always comes to mind when I think back on memorable VHS segments, and a lot of them slip from my mind entirely right after watching them, so that's something by itself. But I also would never skydive. I am not an adrenaline junkie. I am in fact the opposite. And
I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah, so this is not a situation I would ever be in, and so that makes it scarier to me. The thought of doing something that's already that intense and then having it go so badly wrong, and then we're just kind of along for the ride. I like the ones that make you feel like you're kind of there with the characters experiencing things, and there's a lot of really cool footage, and then I felt like the acting was really good, a lot of really believable fear, and the monsters are scary, the aliens. There's some gross effects, like the guy with his head pulled off when they go to find him. And so it's super gruesome. And then the ending is just kind of one of those oh shit types of endings. And so I just felt like it just grabbed me from the start, and then it was just super crazy, super wild, and then it just really stood out to me. So, and it's such a unique premise. I've never seen this incorporate skydiving before, so it just won me over.
May I say something on this segment?
Nope.
I really enjoyed it. And I feel the same way. The only thing that I didn't like was that it just kind of turned into a random slaughter of people at the end, which is, I think, the only reason I didn't rate it higher, because I was so on board all the way up. And even in the Orange Grove, I was on board. But when people just started, just getting slaughtered and then it was over, I was like, okay. So that's why it wasn't as high. But I thought this was a really, really well done segment. And I will say that I think that's funny you say that, because I know that your favorite final girl in your podcast is Linda from Send Help, which I was just talking about with a friend of the show, Ruby Rains. We were talking about that exceptional scene of the plane crash where it tears to pieces. The acting and the terror in that scene is so great. It's so good, and I'm sure
can we just
that,
talk about Send Help? Because I love that
can we
movie.
just switch to that? Yeah,
because Send Help is awesome.
Send Help is the second best Spider-Man movie to come out this year, so I agree. Go check out.
Right, well, that's all I had to say on. If anyone has anything else to say on,
I was just gonna say that is Steve from Halloween is Forever's joke that said all Sam Raimi movies are Spider-Man movies, but especially Send Help, and I agree with him. So.
Yes.
Well, that's what I love about it.
That's okay. I now I know for sure. I already knew, but I now know for sure I'm in good company. The fact that everybody here loves Send Help, that's great.
Hell yeah.
But no,
Hell yeah.
But for some reason, as gory as this segment is. I don't know what it is. There's something about when he gets his finger, I think it's his pinky or his thumb, one of it gets shot
Yeah.
off by the guy accidentally, and we've already we've already seen the one guy's head just
Yeah.
like split. We've seen all this gore, but there is, I guess it's because he's already been through so much, and you can already feel, even if you haven't seen it, if you're watching it for the first time, you can feel like we're reaching the end of the story here. And there's just something about the final indignity of, oh, and he gets a finger shot off too.
Yeah.
Right before, it's like there's something talking about
We've
Raimi.
all been
that
there.
feels Raimi-esque. That feels like
Totally
something he
just
throws
punishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I felt like they like paced it really well, where it just like ramps up, like you're like, okay, it's friends hanging out, and then oh, shit's getting real, and then they're like, oh, there's hope. Never mind. And then oh, there's hope again, I guess. Oh, never mind. Like
We've been talking about accolades for VHS movies, and I think one of my favorite scenes, I wouldn't know how I would put this as an accolade, but it's where they're in the plane, they're ready to jump, and they see the alien vessel in the distance, and they're going like, what is that? Oh my God, what is that? And then that the jet fighter goes right under their plane and almost flips them all the way over by how fast it's going. I thought that was incredibly engaging. I thought that was awesome.
I agree. It's great. It kind of makes me flash back to that one scene in Cloverfield where they're in the chopper thinking they're about to get out, and then the monster just comes right at you.
Yeah, it reminds me of the best parts of Cloverfield. Like the most enticing parts of that movie were the best parts of that VHS short in my mind.
Absolutely. Agree.
All right, over to number 29, excuse me. That was
We're just
30.
racing through these,
We are in number 29 territory now. Tony, I'm going to have you kick us off with the synopsis of this one, because you have it highest rated out of all of us, and that is the sick thing that happened to Emily when she was younger.
all right. That was, if I'm remembering right, is that the one where it's like the internet relationship one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So
Well, there's
it's
some
like
twists and turns with it for sure. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a girl
Oh,
talking
that's
to
right.
her
Yeah, I
long
remember it,
distance boyfriend who's like busy with like studies and quote unquote. Yeah, just twisty and turny. I was like, man, this is really dark, and it's just like fucked up. Like how he's like, oh yeah, by the way, monsters, like we can't keep doing this, and then it like, you know, the surprise, like, oh, by the way, there's multiple women he's doing this to. It's just like, I don't know, that predatory element was like, oh shit, this is dark.
Somebody needs to do an academic dissertation on the vibe shift of like pre Me Too and post Me Too VHS movies, because
Thank you. Okay.
There is so much debate as to whether or not they're trying to make some sort of comment on rape culture and stuff like that, or if they're just playing right into it. I could see both sides very clear, but man, just rewatching VHS like recently, like, oh my God, wow, yeah, this whole other time.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Whole
Chris.
other time.
Thank you,
Chris,
so
did you
much.
listen to our first episode? Because
Yeah,
we talk
did you?
about that in our lowest ranked episodes.
I did, yeah, I'm sorry. I need to catch up, guys. I apologize about that.
I think Kelly and Ian can talk about this. Because I got canceled last episode. So if you guys could maybe fill Chris in.
No, but yeah, Chris, you've pegged exactly the reason why I hate this segment also. And so in our last episode, when we were talking about things, we were talking about this like undercurrent of misogyny, like especially through some of the earliest VHS segments. And we also
I believe Ian called it a boob franchise.
Well, yeah. So we talked
100%.
about gratuitous tit shots, which surprised me a lot when I was rewatching these, because I was like, oh, okay, all right, fine. But what I was saying in the last episode is like, I'm totally fine with it when it fits into the narrative somehow. But the reason this one plummeted in my rating immediately was because it just ends on another gratuitous striptease for no reason. Like, just here's some more tits, you guys. Here you go. And I was just kind of like, okay, come on, what are we doing here? Like, people could find tits elsewhere. I want some story.
That's valid.
Anyway, I hate this one.
I should get a sign that instead of said no trespassing, just says find tits elsewhere.
Like, just have a reason for it. This one felt so shoehorned into me that I was just like, all right, let's move on. Come on.
And
Yeah, because I mean, in the beginning of this movie, like the very first segment, like not like the wraparounds, I feel like don't we get different shots of like almost like revenge porn?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
really leaning into the voice in a way that, look, I also get it. That is a big part of like found footage horror culture. I mean, look, one of my favorites. I don't know. I'm sure this has been discussed already, but I actually am a fan of the first segment, Amateur Night. I like that one. Actually, only just recently found out that apparently it became spun off into a feature film, and I've never watched it.
Yeah.
But I guess I need to check that out. But like, yeah, I just feel like there's
Amateur Night is much higher up on our list. We have not discussed it yet.
Yeah,
so.
no, we haven't talked about it yet.
I love that. I like that one a lot. So
I do too.
Especially because the actress again.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I've
strong
heard that the
choice to
feature is
open
actually,
VHS besides a wraparound. So.
And I've heard the feature is actually pretty good, but I have not checked out either of the spun-off features from this series myself either.
Same.
I want to get her thoughts on it. She was going to be on this episode, but was not feeling well today, so maybe I'll have to just record with her separately. But Brianna does have this ranked as number 4. This is her 4th favorite in the series, so I would love to get her perspective on it as well. So we might have to just record that separately and plug it in here.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
Great. Coming in at number 28, we're going back to VHS Beyond with Stork. This is some cops raiding a house where babies are getting stolen and taken to, and they are met with some terrible monsters, and eventually do meet a giant alien that is a practical stork, and I love that monster a lot.
I love that monster too. I would have loved to have been in the room when they created the makeup for that monster and had him finish. If I would have been so stoked on set when he came out, I would have been like, yeah, you look great, man.
It's amazing.
This is up there with Ratma of some of the like the best practical monsters.
When we get to the
VHS.
Ratma episode, I'm going to be saying Ratma so many times, dude.
Yeah,
I just want everyone to know.
Yeah, I know
Hail
it's
Ratma.
going to happen. Yeah. But Stork,
Ratma day,
Stork is
Ratma,
great.
Ratma.
It's really good. It's the kickoff for the VHS Beyond, I believe. It's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Stork?
The guy who plays the stork is also the guy who plays the predator in Prey. So
Oh, cool.
his name is Dane DiLiegro. So
Just like we wanted to talk about Send Help, can we just talk about Prey? That movie is
know.
great.
no, you should come and listen to the Final Girls podcast and the entire episode that we did on Naru, the final girl from Prey.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna fire up this podcast like immediately once we're done.
Yeah. I do love Prey. I also really enjoy Stork. But on the Prey note, there is an anthology series of Predators called Killer of Killers. It was an animated series and also incredible.
Really
Excellent.
good, yeah.
Far too short. Far too short. It could have had. I rarely say this about movies. They could have had another 20 minutes on that Killer of Killer movies. I loved it so much. I was so upset when it ended. Sorry to derail us.
I need a live action feature that's just that battle world that has all of the Predator defeaters that they have just collected. Anyway, yeah. Thoughts on Stork, Tony?
I'm trying to remember Stork exactly.
See, that's my issue too, Tony, is I don't have much to say.
There's a lot of people screaming. It's body cam footage. It's cops.
Okay, yeah, that was the one with the cops, and then at the end they find the like weird baby monster. And then there's like okay. I liked it, but I also felt like this segment went a little too long. Like there's some of them that I'm like this could have been condensed a little bit more, but I did like the monster. The monster was great at the end. I agree with that by a lot, but I did feel like there was just like dragged out a little. Like
It's really chaotic.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Super,
chainsaw at one point.
Yeah.
It's like the best.
I think Coochie Coochie Coo is the best of the VHS with baby monsters, but we got a while to go, I imagine, until we get to that one. But Stork was pretty good.
Just want to say a couple of things. First of all, like so far to date of all the movies, VHS Halloween is like actually might be my favorite of the franchise.
We all agreed on that last episode as well.
Yeah.
Man, I should have been in the last one, or I should be in the next one because I feel like all the ones I love are going to be in the next. Anyway, sorry, but
Man, I think my number one is a 94. I get it, man.
was it? I'm curious, which is it? Or do you can't reveal?
I can't say. I don't want to say it yet. We'll get there. Please
Okay,
continue.
gotcha.
Sorry to cut you off.
one of my favorites in the whole series is in '94 too. But anyway, just what I liked about yes, exactly. Oh my God,
It's
to be in
so
the next
good.
episode, guys. I'm getting okay. Anyway, no, but
Free
one
up
of the
your
things that I
calendars.
thought,
We'll get you back on.
I know. I'm gonna have to clear some stuff next Sunday. Anyway, no, I remember the chainsaw aspect of it with the monster, with the possessed kind of alien creatures. Almost made me think this was one of that director Timo's shorts, because I feel like it had that kind of chaotic vibe once that element got introduced. I'm sure definitely some people who will have some issue with like maybe almost feeling like it's a little bit propaganda-ish with the fact that we got like a secret
Yeah.
group of police guys who have to go in and get the job done, no questions asked. Like, nothing wrong there, of course. But I don't know. It's also they're dealing with the giant stork monster. I kind of feel like they need to take that thing out. So and also I don't know what the ratio is, but I did note with this is one of the few ones where it seems like the main character who's filming actually survives.
Yeah.
Yeah, like usually they either die or get possessed by whatever they capture. So it's like I find it interesting. It's like, oh, this guy actually made it.
I forgot that they live at the end of Stork. I'm just so used to them dying. I forgot that.
Yeah, they take that little picture at the end and be like, hey, we got it, guys. You know.
This short was written and directed by Jordan Downey and his partner Stuart, that I did not write a first name down for, so Downey and Stuart wrote it while Jordan Downey directed it. It is based on art by Oleg Vodavenko, which is still a digital artist that is very active. I'm sure I pronounced their name incorrectly, but yeah, they have some really incredible art. You can find them on Instagram. That was Stork, so we are at number 27, Dreamkill. This is written by Scott Derrickson and his partner that he also worked with on Black Phone. And this is in the Black Phone universe, Derrickson and Cargill. Mm-hmm. So this actually takes place in the same universe that Finney is battling the Grabber. It is a story.
You can feel it too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very Scott Derrickson movie. Yeah. This is the story of a VHS tape that gets sent into a police precinct. It has a brutal murder videotaped on it, and a couple of days later, they are sent out to investigate a homicide that was on the tape, but the time of death is after when the tape was sent, so they're trying to figure that out. And Finn's uncle, who is a cop in this universe, has a son that is also Scott Derrickson's son, I believe, who is dreaming up the VHS tapes that are being sent secretly to warn people of these murders in kind of a Minority Report-like sense.
Yeah, man. This one, again, because I just recently rewatched a lot of the Shudder ones. This is probably my favorite of Beyond. I really, not Beyond, 85. Apologies.
85, yeah.
This is my favorite, yeah. Even though 85's got some contenders in there for me, but yeah, Dreamkill. I'm a fan of Derrickson, and the kill sequences in this, the murder sequence, the POV, remind me of the most effective scenes in like Sinister and Black Phone and stuff like that. It's just like you are seeing this guy. It's like them at like basically he's at the. I feel like it's the peak of his directing skills with this, and I love the story. I feel like between the goth's son being the one who sends in the tapes and Ozzy's VHS 99, there's Flying Lotus's segment, Ozzy's Dungeon, where the teenage girl who becomes a goth by the end, like she turns her family. I feel like one of the little threads that VHS is trying to tell us throughout the whole franchise is like, hey, don't mess with goth kids.
Totally.
It will.
Oh yeah.
Will fuck your
Especially
shit
if
up
they
you turn your back on them.
100%.
Especially if they can skate.
Yes.
But I mean, not to bring it back to that. I just love the framing of this. I love the way I just love the way it's shot every day. I love the way the story unfolds. It's like it's a pretty long segment too. It definitely takes up a large chunk of the runtime, but I never feel like it's dragging like I do with some other ones.
Yeah.
I feel like in 15 years when I revisit all these, I'm going to regret saying this, so I want to put that out there beforehand. But I think I liked VHS 85 kind of even less than Viral. I mean, nothing really stuck out to me there. But I appreciate it. But honestly, I'm reading the description. I'm looking at images. For whatever reason, nothing about Dreamkill's coming back to me. So wherever I put that, that's where I got it. I really don't have much to say on it.
I liked it. Oh, sorry.
No, please, go ahead.
I was gonna say I mentioned it on the last episode a little bit with the camp one where she's like returning there and there's like the invisible killer. How this kind of felt connected, like, to me, like where they're seeing the stuff with the camera.
That's a pretty cool correlation.
I didn't know that this had to do with Black Phone. Like, I didn't look into any of the directors. I
don't think
enjoyed
anybody
them.
did. He had to say it later that it was in the same universe as Black Phone, but I don't know if that's really important or even real. I don't know.
There's
Might just be
dialogue
something he said.
references that if you're looking for it, you pick up. They mention because the kid's dad, who's played by like Deputy So and So, he like mentions like my sister had this condition. The sister is supposed to be the mom from Black. It's just like you got to kind of be looking for it. If you're not, it's a throwaway line that can go right over your head.
Yeah, Deputy So and So reporting to General Who's a What's It.
Love it.
Exactly.
Played by James Ramscone, who was in like all of Scott Derrickson's movies. He passed away unfortunately earlier this year. He also played one of the adult losers clubs, and he's also in Black Phone, so he plays two characters in that universe.
Wasn't he in Sinister also?
He is also in Sinister. Yep.
Yeah.
The Adult Losers Club is the first album from Verisimilitude, is the most important part of an anthology franchise, the band.
Bravo.
Yeah, you did it. You got there.
So, I don't have much to add about this one. I liked it well enough because it had a much darker tone than a lot of the others, and I like when they, when you don't necessarily always get camp, or you don't necessarily I like the varying tones of any anthology should really have that, right? So I like that this one kind of has the darker tone. My issue with it is not really anyone's fault. It's Freddie Rodriguez. I just can't take seriously, and it's just there's nothing wrong with him as an actor. He's a great actor, but I just associate him so strongly with Planet Terror and his role in that I just.
But I love
like
Planet Terror.
I just see I'm a Death Proof person, but that's another conversation.
Interesting. Okay.
I know.
I would totally love to do a Death Proof. Anyway, please continue.
Oh, we did an episode on that too, by the way. But anyway, Planet Terror, it just his comedic chops really show in that, and I just I can't separate him from that character now. So it's no one's fault, but I just saw him in this segment, and I was just like, oh man, okay, all right. It made it goofy to me. So.
All right. Yeah, and I rank this just pretty middle of the road for Dreamkill. I think actually the connection to Black Phone made me rank it lower than I might have had I not realized it was connected to that. And only because I'm so upset that Black Phone had so much potential to fill the Freddy-shaped hole in pop culture and just totally blew it with Black Phone 2. The grabber looks so cool that it could have just carried a franchise forever. And
you mean a whole movie where nobody dies? It's like a horror movie? Isn't good?
They have to stop every 10 minutes to give exposition? Yeah. No, I really didn't like Black Phone 2. It's unfortunate.
The sister was also super judgmental of the brother.
Yeah.
I didn't care much.
You're not talking to anybody. You're smoking all the time. I'm sorry. I understand. And this is another reason, I thought I liked Black Phone 2 when I first saw it. And then as I watched it after, it kind of soured for me. I was just it's a whole movie where it's like wagging your finger. It's like, you need to get over your trauma. It's like, I could be a corpse.
I didn't like Black Phone 1.
Oh, wow. Okay. Then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Black Phone 1, but only because I was like, oh, this has potential. This is like an origin story for a new, dream killer. And, and the aesthetic is good. But if that second movie had to do something, and it didn't, so...
Well, it's the same reason I didn't like Last Night in Soho, is I don't like movies where ghosts solve everyone's problems just through, psychic intervention, where they're like, hey, what you need to do is this. This is what's happening. I like it when people figure things out for themselves or revelations happen naturally, and having ghosts intervene is always a killer, a plot killer for me, so I didn't care for it.
And, George is delaying because we're about to talk about his favorite segment in the entire series.
It's my bottom ranked, baby.
I'm so curious to hear why.
Coming in at number 26 is shredding.
I mean, I'm not that
really?
I don't have that much animosity. I just have nothing for this. It was a worse skate video than
Bitch Cat is a great band name.
Bone Storm, and it just I don't know. I got nothing to say on shredding. It was my bottom list. I didn't like any of the people in it. It looked like they were having a pretty fun time doing their punk concerts and everything, but I don't know. It did nothing for me. So I'd love to hear from anyone who has a defense for shredding why this should even be considered to have been submitted to VHS.
I have this ranked at number. I have this ranked at number 12. So,
That's right. I'm spicy.
So you and I are diametrically opposed here, but shredding. The shredding is about the band. Wreck, whatever they're called. It's just all their initials. They're a bunch of like post-grunge punk poser kids that are all an asshole to their drummer, who is like the most important part of their band.
Maybe it's because I've always loved drummers. I think I just hated how much of an asshole these kids were.
With the drummer?
Yeah, and so
maybe.
So the drummer is apprehensive about going to this venue where a bunch of people were burned, including their favorite band, Bitch Cat, who are the protagonists of this segment, in my opinion. And they are badass, real punk rockers that are super alt.
Music's not that good, but
they're zombies. I'm not gonna.
I couldn't resist.
I'm not gonna fault a made-up band for a VHS segment not having as good of music as Chris's movie Dead Air, which has nothing but bangers from beginning to end.
Okay, to be fair, I gotta say real quick, we talk about Dead Air up top. I gotta jump in. We do an episode where I talk to Chris. We talk about Dead Air. That is awesome. Please check that out. Also, we're going to be talking about in the future the interview with the Vampire series, and season 3 has Lestat as a vampire punk rock lead man. His music's not that good. I'm gonna get out ahead and say that. It's not as great as they say it is in the show. But the show's still great. So I just want to.
Yeah,
but have you seen him?
But in the '90s version, it was all nu metal, so it's got to be better than like the Jonathan Davis soundtrack from Queen of the Damned.
It is better than the nu metal.
Yeah.
In the book, Lestat's in like an '80s hair band, so
yes,
that's all making it topical.
yeah, it's all changes with the season. But so in shredding, they go to this venue where everybody has been burned. They perform a ritual, and their favorite band, Bitch Cat, comes back and kills them.
Yep.
Like you do.
And it's got very like Jackass vibes. It's got like
CKY.
It feels like CKY, that kind of stuff.
Who hasn't murdered the people that have been inspired by them?
I mean, look, sometimes you got to establish dominance over these the young ones coming up. You can't lose your edge too much.
Yep, exactly.
I mean that at all. No.
That's what posers take
We should just end the episode there. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. The scene dies with us every. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, it's funny that I love this short so much because I did, George. I like teased you a little bit. Like, do you identify with the drummer? The thing is, I identified with the drummer.
Yeah, maybe that's why I hated it, because I'm not joking. I think I do.
I definitely in middle school and high school had experiences with like being not even at the bottom of the totem pole, being the hole that the totem pole that is dug out to put the totem pole in a friend group.
Yeah, I was gonna say I relate too, not from a drummer perspective because I don't do that, but just from being the weird kid that gets bullied by everyone. Sure, I relate to that.
I feel like that's why we all are on this podcast.
I'm like, bring it, Bitch Cat.
As someone that was at the top of the pole and I was picking on people constantly, like I knew that they deserved it. Like
that can't be true, Ian. That cannot be true.
I was absolutely the one with all the zingers in my friend group that could never leave anything on the table. So like, was I bullying people? No, I was receiving it as much as I was giving it, but I was giving it a lot.
I was like, you don't come off to me as a locker shover.
No, I definitely wasn't. But in this kind of like alt friend group, I am the one that's gonna kind of like pick on somebody for any weird little thing possible. But mostly because I've already established that I care about the individual. These people are just assholes.
But, I like this segment. I agree. I can't remember who said it, but I agree that Bitch Cat are the protagonists of this. I loved my favorite shot in the whole thing is just the very end where they're recreating their little huddle, but it's them as the corpses. Yeah. Like, oh my, I don't know. I just at one point for me, and it's fun, and like Kelly, as you mentioned, there's that CKY energy to it. I mean, that was my teenage years too, is watching those like DVDs over and over. So I thought they nailed that energy, even like the Dutch tilt angles with the interviews of the band before they're like,
Yeah.
you're capturing the 90s vibe perfectly.
Oh.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm about this. I feel like I'm fulfilling the fanboy role. Everybody here is like giving good critiques, and I'm just like, well, I loved it anyway. You know,
That's
so.
No,
fair
I think
too.
something we mentioned in our last episode is I think that the mindset that you're in when you watch a specific VHS segment is important, because I loved the wraparound for VHS 94. And that was in the absolute bottom pool for a lot of other people because it was so campy and the acting was so silly. But I loved it because I was just in that mode, I guess, for the cult and the campy women and the alpha male being reversed there. And I was just in that mode for it. So you never know when you watch these. So you all should just watch these and decide for yourself at the end of the day. But please
Absolutely.
enjoy our exploration.
Well, it's like Beyond was like pretty low for most of them for me because I think I was just not in the vibe for spacey
And it's like my number 2.
shorts when I watched it. Yeah, but then 99 just struck all the nostalgia. So it was like between that and Halloween, it was hard for me to choose like rankings on both of those. Like, and I think also 99 being like that point where I was heading towards teenage and I was actually like old enough to like process things in the world. Like, so there's that extra factor.
Yeah, I did watch all these when I was 7 years old, so I did learn a lot.
Speaking
At
of
35
speaking
now.
of aliens and teenagers, our next one on the list is Slumber Party Alien Abduction, which is the second one of these shorts to get spun off into a feature film. Tony, you have this ranked the highest out of everybody at number 2. So tell us what you love about Slumber Party Alien Abduction.
It comes to that nostalgia factor again. I really enjoyed just the vibes of like dumb kids pranking each other at their little slumber party, and then like the shit hitting the fan, and them all like trying to get out of there and keeping the dog safe.
What, doesn't the dog die?
Did it die at the end?
Ultimately. Yeah, I think I was about to
totally
say. I
dies
do
at the
think he
end.
ultimately, which is,
But they like that was the
Oh,
goal.
yeah.
They were
Yeah, that
actively
poor-
trying to protect the dog.
Okay.
And they all got fucked up though.
So
Like,
I was in a notebook writing notes about every segment I was watching, and the only note that I had, because I'd remember this one, the only note that I physically wrote down for Alien Slumber Party was poor dog.
The only
Valid.
note that I wrote down was the fucking dog died.
Yes.
And because you don't end a segment on animal death.
On
No one
and
likes
not just that, a
No one
close up,
likes
the close up on the
Close-up.
face of a dead
of it
dog.
dying
that
slowly.
is extra cruel. I'll give you that.
Let's
yeah.
not. Let's not.
Giant Phantasma kills like 10 kids. I don't see anybody. crying.
Whatever.
Oh,
you
who
know,
cares
that's
about
different thing.
humans? None of them are
Yeah.
dogs.
Come on, poor
Oh my
animals.
god, yeah. I guess that's my one hot take is that I am like, it's not that I revel in animal death, but I will never not be a little mystified by the way people will just be like, you can watch a bus full of varsity cheerleaders get set on fire, and it's just like
Well, look,
a
it's
dog-
not like I
It
want
is
that.
what it is.
It's just a
Sure.
movie. It's just a movie.
When you
Like,
said that.
Yes, if I saw a movie full of a bus full of sorry, if I saw a movie with a bus full of sorority women burning to death, I would not feel as bad as if you showed me a bus full of border collies that just like got set on fire. I'd feel way
I'm
worse.
with
They're on
you.
the bus anyway. There's too many questions.
valid.
And that's part of the mystery. Why is this happening? Why? It just increases the exclamation point at the end of the why.
I've read every single Stephen King book. I don't care about animal death in fictional media. Like, it tugs at my heartstrings a little bit, but I'm
just
now
finished
going
Cujo.
I'm now
Back,
going to come
though.
up with a reason to blow up a bus full of border collies in a movie. Like, it has to
on
happen.
a
Driven by
list.
one sorority sister. It's just
Yes.
like and I'll reuse it in every film, like the Trauma
We
car
could do a Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima situation where we have the story of the border collies that end up on the bus and the story of the sorority sisters that end up with the bus full of border collies.
I'm just gonna,
Volunteer to do one of these stories. I'll direct one of these segments. We got our own anthology going here now.
I'll
We
play
sure
4
do.
of the border collies.
yeah, so that's our thoughts on Slumber Party Alien Abduction. All
Okay,
right.
let's talk about this for a second because we got sidetracked.
This
It became a movie.
it became a feature
it
film.
got spun into a movie.
It got spun into a feature film. It also features a bunch of teenage or like preteen boys like trying to masturbate to like a music video or something. Also, just has some weird horniness that is required.
Another
for a
reason I
VHS movie.
wasn't.
Like,
Yeah. Well, okay. So I wanted to make this point real quick about why it was so low on my ranking because Ian, I don't know if you have the number in front of you, but I think it was in the 40s for me.
No, you had this at 33.
Okay, well, again, I had a weird ranking system. So I think the ones that I liked the most were when you had characters. Now, I don't mind when you have unlikable characters that end up getting slaughtered. That's fine. But I think the ones I liked the most were the ones when you had characters that weren't doing anything wrong and found themselves in an unfair situation of terror. And I feel like everyone in this short was an asshole. And I didn't really care what happened to them. And then it was just like aliens happened. And then it was like done. And I was just like, That was my opinion on that one. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
This was on VHS too, so it was unique at that time. Definitely like rewatching this, and it's like, oh, Beyond has such better alien found footage. But like at the time, 100%. it was kind of a unique take on found footage. Actually, really, this is just kind of stolen from the 1986 movie about the birthday party. I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but it's an early found footage film, and it was remade as like a TV found footage thing. I think it's just called Alien Abduction in one of its names, and then another one it's called like the something birthday incident.
Chris, I don't want to get too distracted, but do you happen to know which movie was the pre and which movie was the post Me Too era?
So the first
off the top
three,
of your head?
First three. VHS is 1, 2, and viral. Because 94 was 21, which, by the way, like it's so funny how that's like VHS 94, but that wraparound segment is the most 2021 thing imaginable. When you like,
I thought it was the most 2012 thing.
Good. I mean, that too. But like just the way that it's like it wraps around with the whole like fuck cops big time thing. Like you think about what we'd all gone through the prior year and everything.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was a movie that really was picking up on the energy in a way that on rewatch I found myself like, wow, yeah. Yeah,
the cops are the enemies.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's a distinction there, too, that in the first three movies, there are no female filmmakers in the writer or director seat. Mm-hmm. In 94, there are 2 female directors and 1 female writer. And I think that was all very intentional. So,
yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, but that leads nicely into our next segment.
It sure does, because coming in at number 24 is Gawkers. For this week, this is the last one. Boy. Gawkers is the story of some creepy teenage boys, and they see an attractive neighbor move in across the street. They're spying on her. The younger brother kind of like gets in and gets her trust a little bit. And this is from 99, so this is a later one. But I do give this points for being Gorgon horror. We need more Gorgon horror, because she turns out to be a Gorgon. But it is...
I probably listed this one higher.
Yeah. Tony has this ranked pretty high. George, you have this ranked at 22. Brianna had it at 19. Kelly, you have it the lowest at 35, and I'm at 30, and some other people had it, smattering throughout there. Tony, you had this ranked at 6. I give it points for being a Gorgon monster movie. I want more of those. I don't need a bunch of teenage boys trying to film their neighbor. We got enough of that in the 80s.
Yeah. I also think that amateur, like, again, I'm going back to amateur now. Like, it was one of those things that I remember when I saw this. It was interesting to kind of make it the wraparound for this movie for 99. It felt like they were kind of trying to, like, what was one of the biggest movies in 99? American Pie? All right, we got to do a horror take on that,
Yeah.
And it just, basically, right? It had to be.
Between 89 and 99, creeping on ladies seemed cool to nerds. Whatever. It was weird.
This segment made me feel so thankful to not be a teen boy anymore. Like, it just
most things do for me.
Yeah, right. But
it made me thankful to not be a teen girl anymore. So
fair point.
Yeah. Like I said, 99 as a whole struck like just that nostalgia vibe for me, and the Gorgon element was really cool. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I was
Okay,
like, "Fuck nerds."
I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be that crass dude who's saying what maybe some of us are thinking, maybe not, is that they were turning it back around. You know, you got the pervy 90s kids creeping on women, which is a big thing in movies. But then this is what, again, might get me canceled in this episode, was that you want to get hard? I'll get you hard. And she turns them into stone.
Ha ha.
A plus.
That
You
was
got
what
me
I
turning
thought
around on it now.
immediately when I saw it.
That's all right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh man. It's just like, you know what, the moment that I remember of that short more than anything almost. It's so weird, the things your brain that'll stick in your brain. But it's the moment when they're all together. I think it's right after he successfully put the spyware into the computer. And all of this, the main kid's friends are like, hyping him up. So I'm hyping the little brother up, like, oh, here's the best, you're better than you got more balls than your brother. And the brother snaps in that moment. He's like, okay, enough. And they all go quiet. Like there's something like, it's like the real monster here is just like teen boy, like needing to dominate your environment thing. And that's the moment where everybody just goes quiet and they're like, what the fuck? I mean, like it, once again, bringing it back to Raimi. Didn't he recently do an interview where he was like, talking about Drag Me to Hell? It was like, no, I don't think she actually deserved to go to hell. But that's, that's the point of the horror, is that unfortunately in the case of these stories,
those are my favorite ones.
Yeah. People are facing mortal consequences, in case sometimes immortal consequences, for sadly things that are part of the human experience, for better, in this case for worse.
That's why you're not supposed to root for the slasher in the horror film all the time. You're supposed to root for some of his early kills. They're almost always earned, but regardless,
it's true. Yeah. So there's like, and like that's the thing. If you want to explore those messy, dark aspects of humanity, you gotta have messy, dark characters that are doing things that you yourself would be like, that's terrible. Don't do that. Stop that. It's
you guys remember how good Send Help was?
Hey, send help though. Chapel.
All right, well, that has been week 2 of our definitive ranking of the VHS segments. Join us next week as we go through numbers 23 through 13. We're getting into the top half of things now, so I think everybody's just going to be fanboying out a bit more. There are some ones where people have things ranked in last place that have made it into the top 10.
Oh, I'm excited to hear about those.
Can't wait.
Those ones are going to be fun, too.
I bet those are going to be mine.
Yeah. So again, this week was number 33. Number 33 was Second Honeymoon. Number 32 was Parallel Monsters. Number 31 was Fur Babies. Live and Let Dive at number 30. The Sick Thing That Happened to Emily When She Was Younger at 29. Stork at 28. Dream Kill at 27. Shredding at 26. Slumber Party Alien Abduction at 25. And The Gawkers at 24. Wow.
Excellent.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Kelly, plug your show again and say bye to the people.
Okay. So.
And maybe dance for a treat and sit if you can.
Jesus.
What were we just saying about misogyny and horses?
This is turning into a VHS segment here. So.
Oh, no.
No. If you
Cancel
want to
Georgia.
hear the female perspective on a lot of these issues in horror movies, or if you just want to hear about us rave about characters like Ripley and Grace from Ready or Not, and yes, my beloved Linda, who's a controversial figure in the Final Girl community, but that's another story. You can come listen to our podcast, Final Girls. You can find us on Instagram at Final Girls the Podcast, or on Blue Sky at Final Girls Podcast. And we release an episode every Wednesday. So we just released The Fog. So.
Ooh, nice.
Chris, where can the people find you?
Right now, the people can find me on my Instagram. Instant Insanity Productions is the best place to find me. That's the only one. I think I got rid of my Blue Sky account. Probably have to start back up again at some point. But anyway, Instagram is the best place to follow me. Also, follow the Instagram for the on video horror movie that I'm making right now called Camcorder Head. You can find find more stuff from us there. We're in the middle of trying to wrap principal photography on that bad boy. And yeah, those would be the best places to find me and stay updated on my film and writing work.
That's rad. I'm in post-production on an SOV style film. We shot it on digital, but we have found an NSTC filter that looks really good. I'm going to run it through a VHS and then re-record it, so it does have at least one stage of analog on it. And we're going with 4.3 called Raptor Rapture, about a pastor that uses an esoteric spell to try and bring about the rapture, but actually turns himself into a raptor, a giant buzzard. So, yeah. Lots of fun new movies coming out. So, yeah, follow those short films and watch the Halloween Horror Hour, because we love bringing you short films and music videos. The season is packed full of some incredible films, and very excited to share all of those with you starting the second week of October on YouTube and local TV. If you're here, channel 28 SCC TV. George, where can the people find you, and is it much different than where they can find me?
Yeah, you can find me on Courtview, most public warning billboards at post offices. But you can also find me on the Halloween Horror. I play Discount Dracula. You can find my work on Audible under George Brandenburg. As always, I recommend Riot by Erica Summers, who you can also hear on this podcast, who will be joining me and Chris Lavinia for our exploration on American Horror Story coming up soon. Boy. That's all I got to say.
Tony, what's your OnlyFans, and what's your rating on Rank My Feet?
It's the McFeeties. It's where I do foot stuff with like little costumes. The best one is the Hobbit one. Really, I think
my favorite is your Overwatch collection. I think it's really impressive.
God. I'm here on the Halloween podcast as well as in the Halloween Horror Hour. I got to die on the Raptor Rapture, as well as I am now Microphone Myers in the Graveyard Gang, and I chat about video games and horror movies with you guys.
Fantastic. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back next week with, like I said, number 23 through 13. This has been a very fun process. And, by the time we're done with this, we're going to have a new mixtape drop, and then we'll have to come back and rank every segment on that and compare them to the rest of everything. And, yeah, and we already know next year is the SCP archive. So thank you all for joining us. Thank my panel for joining me in this arduous process as we go through all 45 segments of the VHS tapes.